I knew that I wanted a position where my skills and my passions were combined in a more holistic way with my faith. And GoCorps just really kind of perfectly aligned all those things to come together in a position where I would be working in ministry but using my degree.
Yeah, in terms of putting your yes on your table, it just means that. It means putting down your yes and just saying yes to the next step. It doesn't mean knowing what's going to happen in 5 years, what's going to happen in 10 years. Is this going to be hard? Is this going to be easy? It's simply saying, Lord, I'm going to take the next step and I'm going to trust you to direct my steps. And that's really the life of faith that we're called to live. But until we put ourselves in situations to actually walk by this faith, we're never going to get to experience God's faithfulness and goodness in that context. So
it's amazing what can happen when you let God have creative freedom over your life. And also, allowing God to work through those 2 years, because my life is gonna be so different because of my time that I spent overseas and the way that the rest of my life looks. I'm so excited about it, and it never would have happened if I hadn't put my yes on the table and said these 2 years are for you and these 2 years are whatever you want to make with it.
I never wanted to be a missionary. I just kind of stumbled upon GoCorps booth, and they started talking about tithing your major, your career onto the mission field, and I was like, okay, maybe 2 years. 2 years isn't a long time. It's not a short time either, but I think it's a sweet spot.
Start with GoCorps and go from there, because if you decide you don't want to do 2 years, or there's other factors that are involved, okay, but now you have a little bit more experience of what could be out there, what options are available. And so I would say GoCorps is a great place to start.
Yeah, so I think Urban at 15 had a lot to do with that, and that was actually where I met the GoCorps staff, and I went up to their table and I chatted with them for a bit. And I think one thing about GoCorps that really stood out to me was that I didn't feel like I had to choose between a quote-unquote normal career after graduation and going out in the mission field. And it was cool that there was this very real opportunity where I could kind of pursue both at the same time.
I would say highly encourage you to do it, at least on a midterm level for 2 years. Cross-culturally, even if it's in the States, in a cross-cultural setting, you'll gain a lot of understanding and compassion for working with people who are not like you. The Lord will also teach you a lot, and you'll learn to depend on God more than somewhere that's comfortable.
it sounds a bit cliche, but trust the process. You're going to go through just a lot of growing, a lot of stretching, and you're going to come to face with a lot of harsh realities about the world, a lot of harsh realities about yourself, and this is all going to be for your good and for God's glory. And so I would tell them, trust that process, lean into the Lord, lean into people that they can trust, lean into your team, and just stay as close to Jesus as possible, and I promise it's going to be okay. He's going to do good things in this.
I mean, if you're already thinking about it, I would say just do it. If I were to go back and do it all over again, I would make the same decision and choose to go. And of course, there were challenges along the way. It will be hard, but I think it's totally worthwhile. So I really would encourage anyone who's considering it to just go. And it's only 2 years, which seems like a long time, but it really does fly by.
I'll say don't be afraid to talk to GoCorps and read the blogs. The blogs helped me so much because you're hearing from people who actually went. Trust God with it all.
For anyone who's considering GoCorps, I would just say take the next baby step, whether that's getting together with a coach, talking through a position that looks interesting, or if that next step is applying, just take baby steps and see where it leads you. I think that was really encouraging for me from my coach. I wasn't sure if I was gonna go, but I just kept kind of going in that direction. And the more that I went, the more it became clear that this was the path I was supposed to be on.
So put your yes on the table by taking that first next step of obedience towards the life that God is calling you to, whatever that looks like.
Awesome. Yeah.
Woo.